Hey Bonham Bulldogs, this is Mrs. Pruitt, one of our second grade teachers, and I'm going to make a short video, probably about 10 minutes, that you need to watch about our online learning. I know many of you have already been doing your lessons online, but there is a change coming starting next week. And starting Monday, April 13th, you are going to need to take a picture and turn in one thing each week for math, one for reading or writing, one for science, and one for social studies. You will get to choose what you turn in for each assignment from the online learning lessons. So what I'm going to do is go through the online for those of you who have been having some trouble with it. When you go to AbileneISD.org, you are going to click where it says online learning, click here. Then you're going to click elementary because that's our school. Then you are going to come over here and click your grade level. Since I teach second grade, I'm going to click second. Once you get to second grade, you are going to see again each of our subjects. ELAR means English, Language, Arts, and Reading. This is reading, writing, and everything to do with words. Math, Science, Social Studies, Art, and PE. I'm going to go through each of these to give you an idea of how it works. We're going to start with ELAR. Once you click on the reading, ELAR, it's going to come up with 5 different lessons. This week, we have lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to click lesson 3. And it comes up and tells you what you're supposed to be doing this week. This is our story for the week. It has the passwords right here that you need to get on any of the websites here. So you have some spelling and high frequency word work. You have a story to listen to, and you have a reflection on your reading to do, some work on pronouns, and to practice your spelling words. Everything that is blue is something that you can click on. Now, when you click on Pearson, anything blue, it's going to come up with this password. I know that Pearson has been hard lately, and so starting next Monday, you will not have Pearson links in your reading lessons anymore. So it will look pretty much the same, but it will not take you to Pearson, which is a good thing because we've had a lot of problems with that. So that is what you're going to be doing for reading. Now, anytime you do need passwords for anything, you can come back to the Abilene ISD page and click this part that says for students, and it will take you to Rapid Identity. When you click on Rapid Identity, it's going to ask for your lunch number and then your password, which is your AISD and your birthday numbers. Once you put those in, it will take you to your Rapid Identity, just like you get to at school. And it takes a minute to load and get all that information in. Mine has more since I'm a teacher, but here is where you can take your AR tests. Here is BrainPop, BrainPop Junior, Britannica, which is an online encyclopedia, which is really fun to explore. Discovery Education has all kinds of neat science and social studies videos and things to do. Follett Destiny connects you to the library so you can look at books that we have online, ebooks to flip through, and audiobooks to listen to that are in our school libraries. IXL is what we use a lot, and I'll be talking more about IXL in a minute. National Geographic. Pearson is where we've been going from reading, but we're not going to be doing that starting next week. PebbleGo is a lot of science and social studies. And then some awesome science is STEM Scopes down here. Teaching Books, Tumble Books, and Tumble Books Junior have all kinds of books and games for you to read online. And so this Rapid Identity has more than just the IXL link and BrainPop Junior and PebbleGo. So explore that a little bit as you go. So I'm going to come out of those lessons and come into math. As you come into math, math also has 5 different lessons per week. If I just click one, like Wednesday again, it will take me to the lesson. The picture over here tells what we're learning about. There's always a daily warm-up, like this week is practicing number of the day, 10 more, 10 less, and standard form, expanded form, all those things that we've learned. And then their main lesson has a video for you to watch, an online lesson for you to click and play a game, and then it has some clock practice. There are also some links down here for practice on this skill on IXL. Do you see how it says type in 5TA on IXL? What you are going to do with that skill is go to your IXL site, type in 5TA, and it's going to come up with some skills for you to practice down here, time math. And so it's showing you some different clocks right here. Now, once you are in IXL, I want to point out this part right here. Do you see this gold star at the top? These are skills that your teacher has said that you need to practice on. So pay attention to these skills when you get on IXL and not just the ones that you click on down below. But these are ones that your teacher has wanted you to practice on. So that is about math. If we come back to science, starting next week, all of your lessons are going to have a new spot on them in reading, writing, science, social studies that gives suggestions for what assignments you can turn into your teacher. Like for this lesson, it says, what can I send my teacher? You can make a short video or write about how you answered the questions in step 4, or write a story about a plant and turn it in. So after you do your lesson, then you can figure out, would one of these be something you would want to turn in to your teacher? And that's the way that those lessons go. English and math have 5 lessons per week for you to complete. Science has 2 lessons per week for you to complete. And social studies also has 2 lessons per week for you to complete. Art, PE, and music have lessons also. Art has 1 lesson per week, and they're really cool. Once you click on an art lesson, it will give you a click to hear a story, and then you can do a drawing to go along with the story. And you could even write a story to go along with what you're doing. When you're finished with your art lesson, come back up here to where it says specials, and that can take you to your music lesson. And you can see there's 1 lesson for music, or you could go to PE. PE has 5 lessons, so you can get moving and get exercising every day, which is really important. Now, one thing I need you to know is your teachers cannot see what you are doing on these online lessons. They are just click and do. That is why you have to take a picture of what you are doing or what you have completed and send it to your pictures. On IXL, we get reports and we can see exactly what you're doing on IXL, but we can't on the online, which is why you are going to need to take a picture and turn in 1 thing each week. Now, I want to give you some ideas of things that you can do to help your teacher. This is a brain pop quiz, and if you can see, they took a picture of the screen so that I could see, this was a science lesson and the lesson on food chains and what the grade was on this lesson. Here is one of the activities where the student had to make their own food chain and put it together so that I can see what they're doing. This is a spelling activity in the writing. If you don't have a printer to print out any of the assignments, then just use a notebook. Here is a writing how-to about making sausage at home. Here is a social studies lesson where she wrote social studies and put a date on it, which is really good so I can see what it is, and then wrote down her answers to her activities and added an illustration with a caption so I could see what it was. Here is a reading lesson where she was reflecting on the story and writing things in. A science lesson about dolphins. Here is a science lesson about parts of a plant with a plant she's growing. Here is a math lesson and practicing basic facts of adding. Here are some art lessons that have been turned in. Here is a fun way to do some math. You don't always just have to sit. You could take some pictures and go outside with some chalk. You could take a dry erase marker and practice your spelling words on a window where you could wipe them right off again. You could do PE together with your math. You could do cartwheels if you get them right. You could do push-ups if you get them wrong. And just do something to get yourself out moving and get some activity going. So I hope this has given you some ideas of different things that you can do to turn in those online lessons. Keep learning, Bulldogs.